guys, it's Coach Mark here from CrossFit Jungle Gym. Today we're going to be going over top 3 mobility drills for running. You can do this before you're running, or you can do this post running. Today we're going to go through a cow stretch, a calf smash, and also a foot smash as well. So we're going to do 3 items today. We're going to need an ab mat or a soft pillow will work fine. We're going to need a PVC roller or a hard can or a foam will work well as well. And we're also going to need a lacrosse ball or a pretty hard ball, baseball, softball, or center. Today, first move we're going to go through today is going to be our calf stretch. The whole goal of this is when we do a lot of running, we typically tend to get pretty tight here in the hip flexor. So the goal is, with this calf stretch, is to loosen up and lengthen out our hip flexor, also our quad muscle to improve our running positions. So we're going to need that ab mat or a soft pillow I previously talked about. We're going to put it against the wall, or you can simply put it against a couch, hence the name calf stretch. We're going to spend 3 minutes here in total. So now it's going to be a little bit tricky to get into position if you're a little bit tight in your hip flexors and also in your quads, but very simple. You're going to walk your feet all the way back towards the wall. Once both feet touch, you're going to bend your right leg and you're going to throw your knee right into the crack of the wall, and you're going to have the top of your toes into the wall and knee and shin in contact with the wall as well. So right now, as you notice, both knees are on the floor, but my right one is going to be in the ab mat. For some more added tension in position, that's one thing to get fun right away, is you can throw that left leg up into a lunging position. Now once I'm here, I am simply going to get the right butt super tight and get it on tension, the right quad on tension, and now I'm going to try to drive my hip towards the floor, almost like a lunge. Now notice I am not going to lean to that position, but I'm going to think about maintaining a nice neutral body, which is abs are nice and tight and rib cage down. I'm going to think about driving my hip all the way down to the ground while on tension on the right side. Now guaranteed, if I squeeze everything on the right side of my leg that's against the wall and I drive it to the floor, I'm going to feel a huge stretch right by my pockets. That should be your hip flexor, and maybe also your quads as well if you're tight in that position. Now we're going to spend 3 minutes in total here, and what I like to do, because I get bored sometimes standing in a static position, I like to go butt back to my heel and then hip to the floor. Butt to the heel, hip to the floor. Kind of go back and forth between the movements, nice and slow. And again, we're going to spend 3 minutes per side. And after your 3 minutes is up, you simply roll that leg off the wall. And now, since you've done 3 minutes of work, we want to see how it panned out. You did all the work, now we want to compare sides so we can tell that it works. So we're simply going to stand up. I'm just going to position the camera to a better angle for you guys. All right, cool. And now, fairly simple. We're going to do an air squat, and we're going to test out our hip flex. You're going to feel that you're going to lean to the one side a little more. Hopefully you don't fall down so you can catch yourself. You're going to see that your right side is a lot looser than your left leg, which means that it worked and we loosened up the right side. So now it's time to loosen up the left side and even that thing out as well. Alright, so now we're back in action. So let's go both feet to the wall. Now we're going to go left leg up. We're going to drive that knee into the wall, get into the crack, top of toes into the wall as well. And we're going to throw that right leg up to a lunge if you can get there. If you can't, you can always keep your knee on the ground, that is totally fine. But if you need some more tension, you feel a little bit flexible, we're going to go right leg into a lunge, and same thing here. Keep your body nice and straight and nice flat back. Rib cage down, belly nice and tight. And then we're just going to go left leg squeeze, left butt squeeze, everything's on tension. And we're going to drive the hip to the floor, and then touch your butt to your heel. Again, we're going to go back and forth between this slight lunge variation for 3 minutes in total again. So again, the whole goal is to improve running positions. This can be done before you're running or after you're running. Trying to lengthen out the hip flexor and the quads to get it all prepped and primed for that long run we might be having today or the day after. All right, after your 3 minutes is completed on your left side, again, I'd like you to stand tall and test out that air squat. Both of you now, each side is evened out. You're not going to fall to the one side anymore. It should be a lot more even now. And that's going to be our first stretch for our running prep for today. We're going to have 2 next. This is the fan favorite. We're going to be needing your PVC pipe, that hard object, or simply a foam will work just as well, or a hard can or a bottle. But I want you guys to be comfortable. So you're going to find yourself a wall or a post. We're simply just going to lean back on that wall where you get like almost like we're tiny back in a chair. Now, the PVC pipe's gonna come into action now. So now I have high socks on. I'm pretty much gonna have my calf, my leg on top of the PVC roller, right at my high sock. That's gonna be a starting position. Let me angle this camera a little bit better so you guys can see where I'm getting to. in action. All right, so now I'm right on my high sock. That's gonna be our starting position. Now for some added weight on that leg, we're gonna go left leg over top of the right. And now simply, I'm relaxed and nice and comfortable. But this is where it gets fun. We're gonna rock to the right and then rock to the left. We're trying to search for those tender spots in the calf. And once you find that spot, which I found right here, I'm gonna apply a lot of pressure down with my leg on top. I can even use my opposite hand to press down. And I'm just gonna point my toe on my head and then point my toe away. Now, right now, this is moving the musculature of the calf through the PVC roller. And the goal here is to lengthen out and pretty much do a deep tissue massage on your calf, but for free. Just a little bit of time, that's all it takes. Again, rock side to side, search for it, point the toe at the head, and point it away. After the area kind of clears up, it's not as bad anymore. We'll roll that roller up. We're gonna go halfway down the calf. And this is where I need it mainly at. So, again, apply that pressure down with an opposite leg, swipe to the right, swipe to the left, and now I'm not just feeling tenderness, I'm feeling a lot of like clumps and bumps now, and I'm gonna sit on that big bump in that clump. And I'm gonna press down, move the toe through, back to my head, and then point it away, which I'm gonna calf through the roller. And again, this could be another mobility move we're gonna do for our running prep or post-workout. We're gonna spend 3 minutes per calf. So I would say spend 1 minute in each position, 1 at the edge of my high sock, 1 halfway on the calf, 1 minute halfway on the calf, and then another minute all the way up, which will be your final position, which we'll do right now. So move another inch up to be your final position. It's going to be the biggest and meatiest part of the calf. So now I really want to get big swipes to the right and big swipes to the left. So this one I like to go my opposite leg off to the side. This gets a little more challenging with this one. So I'm going to go really far out to the right, hit on the outer part, keep that toe moving, and then go to the inner part. Big swipes, or you can always go back to that leg on top if needed. But I feel it's a little more challenging with my leg on top when I'm higher up, personally. So experiment around, big swipes, search for that tender spot, and then point it to your head, point it away. Remember, breathe through the position. It's gonna be a little tense, a little tight, but that's gonna be all right. We're gonna work through it by breathing. All right, after that 3 minutes is up, on the right side. Yeah, we did all the work. We always want to compare sides once we're done because you did a lot of work and we want to see the results. So very simple, we're going to stand tall and we're just going to compare sides by going on our tippy toes. You're going to feel one side moves a lot easier, which is my right side now compared to my left. So compare sides and then we'll swap sides and we'll even it out. So I'm going to face you guys this time. We're going to swap around. All right, we're going to go edge of the high sock, starting position. Left leg on top, and this big swipe side to side, searching for that tender area. This side's better, right? You always get to find the one side's a little worse than the other. Because sometimes in running, you always get a favor, maybe your right or your left side, or maybe one side's not as efficient. And I find my left side when running is not as efficient as my right, or it doesn't pull the same. So I tend to not have as great of running form on my left side. So my left side gets a little more beaten up. Search that tender spot. Point it to with the head, point it away. Again, a minute per section. So I was on my sock. Now I'm going to go halfway, another minute here. And I know I'm not doing a full minute, I'm doing about 15 seconds. But I just want to give you guys a general gist of what I'm trying to get to. Big swipes, search for that spot. Try not to have that cringe-worthy face where you're squinting your eyes, trying to relax the body the best you can. You know it is hard. All right, last spot. A little bit higher up on the calf. Keep your final positioning. And typically, on the outer part of the calf, right around here, from a lot of running, this gets a lot of work when pushing off the ground or rebounding off the ground. So I would say definitely spend a little more time on the outer part of that calf. Use that leg if needed, and just keep that foot moving. Move the calf through the roller. And anywhere on the calf pretty much is fair game. And I want you to spend 3 minutes per side, 1 minute in each position. And after that time is up, we're going to go back and we're going to go on our tippy toes. All right, guys. Mobility drill number 2 has been completed. We're going to have 1 more to go. And it's going to be our foot smash. Right, guys, last but not least, it is going to be our foot smash. We're going to need that hard lacrosse ball, a softball, a baseball, pretty much any kind of hard object. You can even use your PVC roller or foam roller if needed. But I'm going to go with the ball. It's a little more precise and it's definitely to get in the foot. So up next, we're going to have 2 minutes per foot of a foot smash. We're doing a lot of compact stuff on our feet, whether we're doing jump roping, box jumping, running. Our feet tend to get pretty tight. super small impact load. It's just like a car. The more you use a car, the more you got to maintenance it. Same thing with our feet. We're always walking on our feet, so we definitely loosen these things up today. So take your shoes off. Let's get to it. We're gonna go both shoes off. We're gonna go on the right foot first. And now I'm gonna start right by the pad of my foot. So right here is I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna swipe side to side underneath the foot. So on the foot, it has a lot of nerve endings. So we're just trying to open up that foot. I'm going to think about like smashing a bug. I'm just going to rotate side to side with that lacrosse ball underneath the foot. Again, right now, right in the pad of the foot. And we're just going to search around for that tender spot. So now we're going to come kind of off the pad of the foot. We're going to come down where it starts to kind of dip down into the arch of the foot. And this is where it starts to get pretty fun. It's a little tender in this area. Again, you can always use your opposite hand for some added pressure if needed. I like to go bent leg, kind of arms on my knees for that weight. And again, just take your time. There's no rush. 2 minutes per side. For mobility, you can always spend more time if needed. I prefer not less time, but more time the better. And now we're going to come off that spot, and now we're going to go to the arch of the foot. So now we're right in here, circling all around the arch. Again, loosening up those nerve endings. A lot of compact training. Our foot gets pretty tender. And I like to go a little bit faster in the spot in the arch of the foot just because it's a bigger area. So I really want to search around for that tender spot. Think about squishing that bug. Just get big circles, pretty much any kind of movement. We're trying to loosen up the bottom of our feet. And again, we're going to spend 2 minutes aside. And once your 2 minutes completed, we're very simple. What we're going to test out is, let me turn the camera back up. What we're going to test out is we're simply just going to walk around on our toes, and we're just going to feel our feet. So right now, your feet should be able to feel like almost able to splay a lot easier. Your feet almost feel like they're more open now. It's a very weird feeling, but it's because your nerve endings are now more opened up compared to what they were before. So I'm going to get the camera pointed back down for you guys. Just walk around, compare your toes, compare your feet, open and close your toes up, and then we'll go to the opposite foot. Again, we're going to go right back on the pad of the foot. 2 minutes per side. You want to spend more, prefer not less. We're just going to swipe side to side across the left pad of the foot, and then we're going to work our way down on the bottom part of the pad of the foot, right around this area, and then we'll go to the arch, which will be your final position. Again, same thing. You're going to find one side is worse than the other. Typically, this will be my left side compared to my right. We're just going to search for that spot. All right, last but not least, we go to the arch of the foot. So now we're going to be all in here, searching around, loosening up those nerve endings. Again, I like to go a little bit faster. It's a bigger area. Think about squishing that bug. You can take your time. You can go fast. You can go slow. It doesn't matter. But just work it out the best you can. All right. And after my time has been completed, that will be it for today's running prep and mobility. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, always post them in the comments below. And if you guys like to see more videos like these, I can always post more to help you improve your running. All right, guys, see you soon.